How's it going, everybody? Today is September 2nd, and I want to do a little update video real quick before we get into doing the normal type videos. And so real quick, we started feeding alfalfa. We've gotten 3 loads so far. So anyway, we're feeding alfalfa. It's coming out of Oklahoma, and that's really all I got to say about that. Last night we got, even all the way until about lunch today, we ended up with 4.5 inches of rain. It started raining last night about 8 o'clock, and then maybe even a little later, maybe 9 o'clock, and rained till about noon. And the pond that we were filling in, we decided to fill this pond in just a few days ago, got started on it, and we were trying to beat the rain. We were told we were going to get about 1 inch, but we ended up with about 4.5 inches or a little more. If we would have had a few more hours, we could have got it done. But now it's half full of water again. But it is what it is. So it dries out, we'll pump the water out and get back to filling it in. This is where we had planted the sorghum. You can see some of it grew back after the second cutting. Pretty much all the sorghum fields have gotten lime spread on them. All but 3 or 4 of the milk cow fields have gotten lime spread on them. And we have 5 more loads of lime to get. We have spread about 15 loads so far. Got the first cut of sorghum there. You already seen that one. That's the second cut of sorghum. And there's not much grass silage left. We'll probably be out in a week or 2 if we keep feeding what we're feeding. I wanted to go ahead and open the first cut of sorghum, but I'm about to explain why I haven't. And on the sorghum, we ended up with about 16 tons to the acre with the 2 cuttings combined. So it did way better than we thought it was going to do. And yeah, pretty happy with it. We got a pile of corn silage here. We did that right at the end of July. Came from a cornfield about 50 miles away. Had it hauled in, we packed it, covered it, and all that. When we covered that pile, that was everybody was almost having heat strokes covering that pile. Alright, so real quick, when I haven't opened the sorghum pile yet, the first cutting, we were talking about doing that over the weekend, last weekend, and we didn't. So the feed wagon was parked right in this area, and then the well house is sitting right there. It's like 80 yards away. And then Wednesday night, we had a little bit of a storm come in. This would have been a week ago on Wednesday night. And the next morning, on Thursday morning, the scales were messed up on the feed wagon, and a capacitor in the well house was blown, swelled up, popped, and the well was continuously trying to run. But anyway, I'm pretty sure, because I was out spreading lime when that storm came in, and there was a lot of lightning. I saw some lightning hit ground. So something happened right in here, and it screwed up the scales on the feed wagon and screwed up the well. The well we fixed that day. I had to order a weigh bar. I'm not even sure which weigh bar is messed up yet. It's not your typical deal what it's doing. Usually you can just unhook them, and you'll unhook one at a time, and you'll be able to find it, and I have not been able to do that. Real quick, the weigh bars are underneath the feed wagon. There's one here, so there's one in each corner, and as the tub sits on them, it weighs how much feed is on the inside the tub, and actually on the conveyor too. And then you got your scale here, and it's reading all kinds of stuff. It'll read heavy, and then it'll read light, and then it bounces all over about 1,000 pounds. So for the last week, I've been kind of guessing on what I'm putting in the wagon, which is never really that fun. But if you fed enough, you kind of know what everything weighs, and you can get really, really close without using scales. But and also, you may notice 7410 is still on the feed wagon. That was today's Wednesday, so it had been a week and a half ago. Sunday morning, I got SCR failure on the 130, and that still has not been fixed. So on the 130, when I started it up to feed the first load, I got a code saying SCR failure. That's the diff fluid. Also, calving started. We've had about 25 cows calve in the last 5 days. So, yeah. But on the 130, when I was mixing the first load, I got an SCR failure, and the tractor ended up derating, which means it's only running at, I don't know, I've heard 30% power, but I'll tell you what, that tractor, 130 horsepower, would barely pull the feed wagon empty up that little bit of a driveway that we just drove up. So, it's been sitting there. They came out and looked at it a week ago, hooked their computers up to it, because that's all you can do for them. There's nothing we can do about it. They figured out the problem. All it was a line that closed down on itself and wasn't allowing to recirculate. And they ordered the line. They told me that they'd probably have it fixed Monday, and I haven't seen them yet. So, thanks to COVID, everything's running way behind. That's the same thing with the scales on the feed wagon. They were hoping they were going to be here yesterday, and today's Wednesday, and they're still not there. And they probably won't be here till tomorrow. So, the parts that we ordered, we went ahead and ordered knives, the weigh bar, a shield on the conveyor that was kind of rotted, and a new hitch. So, I'm hoping tomorrow or Friday we'll put the case back on the feed wagon with all those new parts and the new knives, and it will be ready to rock and roll. On the Artex here, the Artex, we've spread about 15 loads of lime. This thing works out really good. We have spread lime before with the fertilizer truck, and that's usually a really big pain in the butt because you can only put about 2 to 4 ton of lime in the hopper of the bed of the truck. And also the door is really small, so then you have a problem with it plugging up, and sometimes the lime won't feed through. Anyway, so with the Artex, we could put about 16 tons is what I was figuring was full, and crack the door open about a foot and just let it roll. Got the chain going really slow, and yeah, it's working out good. I was trying to put out a ton of lime an acre right now, and then we actually took the beaters off, which was really super easy after we figured out how to do it. And you just unhook a PTO shaft, come from the drive line into the beaters, or the gearbox of the beaters, unbolt 2 bolts on each side, and lift up on it. Comes right off. And then we used it to move some dirt that we had sitting over here and used it like a dump truck to fix up some lanes. And then after we were spreading the lime, before we took the beaters off, we emptied the pit. It was about 10 or 12 loads of the Artex completely full, and then I'm not sure how many loads with the vacuum tank, but we had it down completely. You know, I was driving the wheel loader down on the bottom. Now it's half full of rainwater, but basically all the solids are out of it. And yeah, so that's what we've been doing with the Artex. This thing's pretty awesome. Now we ended up putting a loader on the 7220. Wes found this loader in an auction. It's a 740. It's probably like a 99. I think I saw that somewhere on it. A 99 model. But it was barely used. It was sitting in a barn. And it was just about an hour's drive from here. Me and Wes went and got it. John Deere ended up putting the brackets on and putting the joystick and everything in there. The 99 model loader and a 2003 tractor, and then joystick and everything is from loaders that are being put on tractors nowadays. So this tractor used to feed for a while. It actually took the place of the 7410 on the Supreme wagon, and then it ran the first shooter that we had, and then it actually ran that shooter for a little bit, and it got kicked off the wagon when the 130 showed up. So this tractor's got a little over, probably close to 9,500 hours on it, and most of them are feed wagon hours. And so we decided that from now on it's just going to be a loader tractor. So yeah, you know, we still had all the attachments that we had with the 6410s, and now that they're gone, those were useless. So it all works out now with this. The only thing is it'd be better if it was four-wheel drive, but that's cool. But this tractor has gotten a new radio, a new alternator. Wes just put a brand new starter on it today. It's got new tires sitting in the shop that we need to put on. The cylinders on this loader, from it sitting so long, Two of them had small leaks when we got it hooked all up, and then they ended up being gushers. Got those fixed, and then the next couple hours that it ran, one of the other ones started leaking, and then the other one started leaking. So all 4 cylinders on the loader ended up getting new seal kits put in them, and then and it's also got third function. So it'll be able to run the Caltech. It can run the agitator. It can put out hay. It can just do whatever. And that way, that tractor can be hooked up to a mower, the Maxim. And like right now, the 185, we took the loader off. And so that tractor is going to be on the Artex, and it's about to get hooked up to the plow, and then it's going to be hooked up to the drill. So that's basically, you know, not going to be able to be used for a loader. If we wouldn't have done this, we would have just had the one, and then that one runs a mower like a champ. So there you go. This one can stay here and be putting out hay or whatever. We were talking about alfalfa a while ago. The newer, we call it the newer Freightliner. It's the 06 Freightliner. In Oklahoma, the radiator hose blew on Wes. They were able to just to cut it and put it back on and fix it, and he got home. We put new radiator hoses on it a week ago or so. We are in between the second and third cuttings of hay, and there's been a lot of work done to one baler. There was some work done to one of the tractors on the baler, and then the inoculant switch in one of the baler tractors had to be replaced. I don't understand what was really wrong with it, but it didn't work. So, but last night when that storm came in, Wes's house got struck by lightning. We're not really sure what got struck. So I'm about to explain all this. At my house, the electricity flickered twice. You know, it was off for like 4 seconds, came back on, and 2 minutes later it got hit again and went off and came back on. But Wes's house, he didn't have electricity. It blew the fuse on by the transformer. Kind of think he's got a new internet pole that's been on there for about a month. Think maybe it got hit. It blew the main breaker in his house. Smoke alarms were going off. He could smell smoke. He was running around in the attic and all over the house last night looking for a fire. There was no fire, but he could smell smoke. Just a lot of weird stuff in the house, like the printer. He told me the printer opened up somehow. I didn't understand that one. His garage doors aren't working. His dryer's not working, and something else. Can't remember what he told me now. But this little building here is connected to his house. And then, so this morning, the fence charger that runs a third of the milk cow fields is hanging here on the wall. This one's actually a brand new one, but it was hanging here. This orange strap blew off all the way over there. This was laying on the ground, and this was laying on the ground. That's all blown off. This was still mounted to the wall, and I don't know if you can see all the burn marks in there. You can see all that's toasted. This Ranger was parked right here, and nothing was wrong with it. You can see all the burn marks on that board. And this was laying on the ground. Blew the knobs out. You can see the burn marks on that. That's what you put the wire to. That's got burn marks on it. Anyway, that right there is pretty interesting to me anyway. Yeah, so I just blew the cover completely off. That orange deal on the ground gets strapped onto here, and it blew it off all the way over there. Anyway, just completely blew it apart. Yeah, I don't know how. And then we just realized that the diesel pump, I don't know if you can see the skid steer over the top of the calf hutches. I'll try to hold the camera real still. The diesel pump's fried. It tripped the breaker, and then Wes went to go put diesel in the skid steer, and he flipped the breaker back on, And when he went and turned the pump on, it tripped the breaker again. So yeah, somehow that got fried too. And I'm sure there's going to be a couple other things. As far as I know, the computer with the cow records on it, it's still good. It's inside that building. The computer in his house is still good. I think he said his TV, I think his TV's working now, and all that. But I guess it's a good thing his house didn't burn to the ground. So, like 4 or 5 years ago, my truck is sitting out there right now. It got struck by lightning, and it still does some weird stuff with the dash lights and things. But anyway, I just thought that was pretty cool. I wanted to show you guys that. That's just crazy how that blew apart out here. I don't know. Can't explain it. But anyway, we're going to let you go. I got to get back to work. I'm hoping tonight to get home at least before 8 o'clock and I can cut my hair. I haven't been getting home until 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock, whatever, every night for the last 2 months, it seems like. And that's one reason I haven't made any videos, because I don't have time. So I'm hoping we can get back onto a regular deal, and we'll figure out something how to make this a little easier. But I want to thank you guys for watching, and don't completely count me out. We'll see you on the next one.